back. This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared here with Bob. We got the ending of our NFL Sunday going on. It just blew the under in the Tampa Bay game, so that's pretty awesome. Yet Nikos is probably still not going to hit the adjusted over, like you just said.
Yep. He took 60 and looks like it's going to be 58.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. A lot of late in the game scoring though so far. Like the Dolphins came back. I don't know if they're going to be able to hang on to pull it off. They're looking at 3rd and 20 right now in overtime, down 3. So Miami had the backdoor cover. I had I didn't take them, but I had them in the pool. I had the Raiders in the pool -4, I think it was.
I don't think they can win by 4.
No,
it could be a pick 6.
Yeah, there could be, but
The only way.
Yeah. So Miami had a backdoor cover.
Or a goofy safety.
Tampa hit the over late with there's like a minute and 10 seconds left in that game. A lot of late game action as far as the betting swings go over there.
Back doors open.
Yeah. And Brissett just threw an absolute bomb, and it was not good. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the pick'em pool stands, but if you guys are listening and you want to get in on the pool, we do it every week. It's just $5 to get in to play. We host it on this website called Pool Host. All you do is just create a username. It's totally free to sign up, and you send us $5. Well, you send Bob $5 on Venmo. We'll send you the information, everything you need to get signed up. We'll get you the link to get in and all that stuff, and you can join in. There's no commitment. So if you only want to play the even weeks, or you want to play once a month, or you want to play every single week, you can play as much or as little as you want. Like I said, there's no season-long commitment. $5 a week. And again, let us know the weekly pick'em. The more people that play, the bigger the pool. So last week I actually won, and I think I won $90. So that would have been one of our biggest, if not the biggest, last year. We've had pretty solid turnout this year. I think we've had at least like 18. Week 1 might have been like 16, 17.
It was 17, 18, and I didn't look at this week.
This week is 18 again too. So like I said,
but did everyone actually fill out their picks? That's the only thing I would.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone got it in. So again, if you're listening and you're in, awesome. Thank you. And also tell anybody you want. If they're interested in joining a pick'em, they can join too. They don't have to be like part of us, or I don't even have to know them. There's plenty of people in the pool that I don't even know. So spread that out there. What else we got? While we're at it, we're talking about betting. Go to mybookie.com. Use our promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So we're talking here about some late game betting swings. Hopefully you can get all your bets in on mybookie.com. Use a promo code SarcasmPod again. Mybookie.com over there. Sarcasm Pod doubles your first deposit up to $1,000. So, did the Raiders just blow that on 4th and 20?
Yeah.
And they gave them a first down. That's awesome. The Raiders suck. Yep, clock's running out on the Bucks. Total is going to be 58.
They almost just converted an onside kick, but fucking couldn't grab the ball.
Yeah. Wow. Imagine, actually, you know what would be great for me, well, for the pool's sake, is Miami goes down, kicks a field goal, and then Vegas gets a touchdown. That would avoid
that would be good for you.
That would avoid the cover. Do you remember who you had in this game?
Probably Miami.
Yeah, I think one of your prediction for the earlier in the week that I posted on Instagram was Miami +4.
Yeah. So whatever I predict and whatever goes in the pool and whatever I actually wager money on, they could all be different.
That's good. It's a way to be
like
consistent.
I had a prediction, Miami +4. I don't know who I took in the pool.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Well, again, so full transparency, like what I like to put money on will sometimes be dictated by what's going on. So like I like to look at where the money's going and kind of I don't really like to go with the public. So if I logged in this morning and saw that Miami +4 was getting, like 50-50, I probably wouldn't bet it. But in the pool, I do a lot of weird shit because I try to think about like who's gonna take, like who are most people gonna take.
Yeah.
And I try to just go the opposite. So I either end up finishing last or first. Like that's usually how it goes. Like I don't want to be in the middle.
Right.
So
yeah, I think I'm fourth right now. I just looked before we got on. So like I said, I won last week and I'm currently sitting in fourth. So done okay. Interesting strategy. You could just try and pick like the winners.
Well, again, so if I'm going to win the pool, it can't be what everyone else thinks. So that's why I look at it like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you get most of them right, then it doesn't matter.
Correct.
Like last week, I think I won and I only got 4 wrong.
Right. So that's the other part.
What is that? There's 16 games. So I went 12-4 last week.
Yeah, and then it does burn me because then it's like I'm always taking Jacksonville, I'm always taking the Jets, and those teams are fucking miserable. And so the strategy has flaws, it does, but especially for the pool or the predictions, I like to give 3 predictions,
Same.
So, but like I only bet one of my own bets today, and then I faded the bartender. On 2.
Yeah. So the pool, I will admit, is tough because you have to pick every single game.
Every game.
Like there's some games where it's like, that's gross, I'm staying the fuck away from that game. Like, like Denver and the Jets. Like I would never bet that game. Like I looked at it and I was like, well, the Jets probably cover because Denver is, I didn't think they were good enough to cover a double digit spread. Lo and behold, they were. Teddy Covers does it again. I think he's like 39-14 against the spread as a starter in his career now. Something ridiculous.
Fucking preposterous.
But I looked at that and said, yeah, even though it's Teddy Covers, 10.5, I don't think the Broncos are that good. And it turns out maybe they're not that good, but the Jets are that bad. So, it's one of those things. Like I said, like I would never bet that game in a million years, but I have to pick it for the pool. So that's what I did there. Where I'm not, our buddy Ian McMillan, who's on the road to 272 bets, which, by the way, shameless plug. If you want to follow him, his podcast is the Bacon Bets podcast. He is on the road to 272 bets, like he talked about when he was on our show a couple weeks ago, about a month ago. And he's off to a really good start. I don't know what his current thing is, what he is live in week 3.
He went 13-3, then 11-5. I don't know where he's at right now.
Yeah, I don't know what his stats are for week 3, but week 1 and 2, he crushed it. So that's his thing. He actually does bet every single game, every single week. And he switches it up too. Sometimes it's spreads, sometimes it's totals. He'll take some money line underdogs here and there. So Ian McMillan's Bacon Bets podcast over there. Not a sponsor, but friend of the show. Maybe we'll get him back on again soon. We'll see. I just saw he did another podcast for Bet-Sided, like the company that he works for. There's a couple guys on there that have a podcast that he went on. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get him back. I'll try. There's also another guy. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter whether I say it on air or off. It's not like he actually listens to the show, but I would love to get Sean Evans on the show.
I don't think I know who Sean Evans is.
That's the host from Hot Ones.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that would be a really fun one. Like, I feel like we could fuck around and have a good time. I mean, obviously it would be over Zoom, but I have a lot of fucking questions for that guy. So, and obviously I love that show. So we'll see. I gotta cold call the Instagram DM or the Twitter DM, and just be like, hey man, do you want to come on my podcast?
Then you always run the risk too, because some people like, hey, I'll come on, man, but like, it's $100.
Yeah. If anyone ever comes at me with an appearance fee, sorry, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to getting back to me, but I'm not paying you an appearance fee. Sorry. I don't care who it is.
We don't generate revenue.
Yeah, no.
We don't have an appearance fee budget.
Yeah, no, nope, not even close. Not even anything that would resemble a budget. So
we should apply for government funding.
We should have applied for the PPP loan. It was free money. It was Liberty.
Yeah,
except Liberty didn't cover this week.
Or the one through the state.
Yeah.
The grant, but then you have to pay taxes on that whole thing.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Why don't we turn this into a nonprofit and apply for like grants?
Yeah, and I mean, I think we could do it. We just have to, I don't know, get someone who's good at bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping? That's easy. That's the easy part.
Yeah, or like doing shit for a nonprofit. Is there anything other than a 501c3 nonprofit?
Couldn't tell you.
Like, I'm sure there must be, because people are all like very specific, like, oh, it's a 501c3. Like, I've never heard of any other kind of nonprofit, but they got to be out there. Otherwise, I feel like people wouldn't be so specific about it. Oh, did someone kick a field goal?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Michaela knows all that shit.
Was that the Dolphins?
Yep.
Let's go. Tie game. Oh, no. That's to win? No, that was a flashback.
No.
Jesus Christ. That's what happens when I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, no, it's a tie game.
Well, I'm podcasting instead of watching football. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I can't believe you're on your podcast.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
Yeah, priorities, right?
Embarrassing.
Yeah, so here we go. Maybe the Ravens can figure it out. I almost called them Oakland again.
Yes, the Ravens.
The Oakland Ravens. All right. Let me see here.
Yeah, what are we getting into?
We got some kind of news. Some news that, if anything, is good for you and your business. Although not really. Once I say it, like, you'll understand. Like, general scheme of things, kind of, yeah. But like I said, like, what you do is pretty niche.
Dude, the suspense is killing me.
So a recent, I think it was the CDC, just came out with new numbers that childhood obesity is up. All children. So I believe what they classify as children is anybody under the age of 18. Out of all children in the entire country, 22% of them are considered obese. So that is almost 1 in 4.
Yeah,
22 is pretty close to 25%, which is 1 in 4. 1 in 4 children, roughly, is obese. Not overweight, is obese.
Yeah.
So
obese is hard too.
What I will give you is, I'll go 1 in 5. So I'll round it down to 20, because if we are also doing under the age of 18, I feel like high school athletics comes into play a lot. And if you have, say you have a kid that's, that plays football, that's like 5'11", like, 270, but like he's in good shape, that's technically obese. But he's not obese. You know what I mean? Like any
Yeah, we're not gonna do a BMI
yeah, we're
crush.
not going to do this, but they do it on BMI, and BMI is pretty much bullshit. Especially when it comes to athletics, it's fine for general population, but when it comes to
Well,
athletes, BMI is bullshit.
it's just anyone with any level of muscle mass. That's the main
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. Um, so like I said, I'll to be fair, and for to should take into account for all that stuff, I'll round it down to 20%, and I'll say 1 in 5. So 1 in 5 kids is obese, which again is not overweight. Like there's different categories of that, right? There's what, average or healthy, whatever the fuck it's called, like
Yeah,
middle where
there's
you're
like a
supposed
normal
to be.
range. There's overweight, and then there's obese.
Yeah. And
And
then
then
there's
morbidly
obese
obese.
too, morbidly obese. Yeah. There's a second obese category. Um, so again, still though, 1 in 5. So that's pretty fucking high, dude. If you have a classroom of what, 20 kids,
4 of them,
that's 4 of them are obese, let
and
alone
it
like I don't
probably
know how many are overweight. Like I said, like this study, I'm sure if I actually looked up the study and found it, it would tell me how many people are overweight, which I would bet is probably also close to 20%, which means that close to 50% of all children are
overweight.
overweight or worse.
Yeah,
But
it
that's not
wouldn't
good.
surprise me.
That is very not good, because we know for a fact the number one factor in things like the diseases that everyone has forgotten about over the last 2 years that actually kills people like at a pretty solid clip. Like these diseases are really good at killing people, not a 99.9% survival rate. So obesity kind of comes into play for like diabetes and heart disease. What else? Um,
High blood
Potentially,
pressure.
yeah, blood pressure, potentially Alzheimer's. Um, there's a lot of mixed
Sure, this
things.
shit doesn't help.
I think in the next 5 to 10 years we'll have a lot more, because in the last like 5 to 10 years they've been studying a lot about neurological disorders. Um, and they're starting, so like things are starting to trickle out now into like the science world, and there's some that show they think Alzheimer's and dementia is a disease of inflammation. So if your body has constant inflammation, especially in the brain, it will lead to higher chances of dementia and Alzheimer's. And then you just know that if you're obese, you're typically more inflamed, because without getting sciencey, it's not because you're bloated, because you're fat. Um, if you're inflamed because of your lifestyle choices. Obesity comes along with a lot of internal inflammation. Um, so you could throw the link there, and if you're starting out at 11 years old, 12, 13, 14 years old as obese, you kind of don't really have much to go from there.
Yeah, so it is hard because before kids like go through puberty and all that crap, and before they get like testosterone running through their body, um there's it's hard because some kids are just more likely to fucking be fatter until they get a little bit older, get a little bit
Right.
taller, and you know, but that's not everything. And also too, like this all comes down to the parents. Like, what are you feeding these fucking kids?
Right. Right.
Now, you could say it's, oh well, it's a lack of activity. Yeah, probably. But again, if they were eating properly they wouldn't be obese
Correct.
because they aren't exercising. They'd be out of shape
Yeah.
and they wouldn't necessarily be healthy, but they wouldn't be fucking obese.
Right.
Because there's quite literally one way to get obese, and that's to eat like shit.
Yes.
Because they're also showing, and this, so I know this is unrelated, because they're also showing us now in research that your metabolism doesn't actually slow down until you turn 60. So when people say they're obese at like 45, oh, my metabolism, no, sorry, you got another 15 years before you're eating like shit. You're eating like shit and moving less. That's what you're doing.
Right. That's what happens.
So yeah, I mean, these kids, it's hard now, especially with like the last year. I know it's gotten better, but like they're not moving as much. Some people still aren't doing things like, oh, it's not safe to go play sports. It's not safe to go to this. It's not safe to go to that. It's like, we're fucking killing these kids.
Yeah. So it's a good thing you brought that up, because the other part of the release, the article that I saw, was that last year at the same time. So I think these numbers are through August 31st. And as of August 31st of 2020, 19% of kids were obese. So childhood obesity has increased 3% in the last year, which I feel like is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Like in 1 year, that's a lot.
Yeah. That's a shitload.
Yeah.
Because is this kids worldwide or kids in the US?
Just in the US.
Okay. So I don't know how many kids there are in the US, but
yeah, I mean, call it what, 100 million, maybe
100 million, like
yeah,
a third
roughly.
of the population.
Yeah.
So that means 1% is 1 million kids, right?
Right.
My math correct?
Yeah, so roughly. If we go with
that means 3 million kids have become obese last year.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot.
That's a shitload.
3 million kids.
That should be that's what we should be mandating.
Yeah.
Mandate exercise.
But what we have is taking gym out of schools instead, and telling kids they can't play sports because there's the Chi variant, or there's the new
Sigma Pi.
Yeah. There's I'm trying to think of some fucked up letters. I can't remember what the Y is called in the Greek alphabet. Ekis. That's one of them. That's the X.
Dos Equis?
Yeah. I think Ekis. Oh no, that's Spanish. That's Spanish.
It started as a fucking coronavirus, and now it's a Dos Equis virus.
Yeah. The Dos Equis. Upsilon. That's what it is. Oh, hey, there we go. I got the Greek alphabet right here. I got the whole thing. Yeah. So we're talking about the mu variant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the 11th letter in the Greek alphabet. Actually, I feel like that's not true, because I think this is made up. Because I'm looking at omega is like right in the middle. I thought omega was the last letter of the Greek alphabet. This has zeta as the last letter.
I don't know. Dude. I don't know. But
yeah, they made it up.
The other problem with school gym class is, first of all, they're cutting it, both in quantity, frequency, like everything.
Yes.
They also don't fucking do it right.
No.
Like again, if it's gonna be physical education, like you should be doing certain, like there should be some element of fitness in there, or strength training, or whatever. They should probably be doing it every fucking day. But
yeah,
what do I fucking know?
Yeah, I mean, it's so fucking stupid.
If you did 30 minutes every day, whether it's first block, last block, I don't really care. 30 minutes every day. And, you know, you could do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or I guess you could do, like, even if you did Monday, Wednesday, strength training, Tuesday, Thursday, some type of conditioning variant, and then Friday was like games or something. Like, would that be so fucking hard?
No. But you have these stupid fucking idiots that still think like, oh, well, if kids lift weights, it's gonna stunt their growth.
We have research that says that's not true.
Yeah, we've only had research for the last 2+ decades that shows that's not true. But you still have idiots that are out there like, oh, well, I don't want my kid their growth to be stunted. Well, you're a fucking retard. Then you still believe shit from the '60s.
So the way I do it is I call it strength training. So if it's kids in elementary school, it's only twice a week for a half an hour each.
Right.
You know, they can slam med balls, do push-ups, body weight squats, body weight lunges. They don't have to actually, quote unquote, lift.
Right. They don't have to touch a weight like a dumbbell or a barbell.
Yeah, you can make them med ball chest pass to each other. Like,
right.
It's just throwing a ball.
Yeah.
You let them throw balls.
Yeah.
So it'll never go that way though, because these kids have to take fucking like ceramics and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they have to get ready to pass the MCAS. So, you know, we have to teach them how to take a test.
They don't teach us how to take tests. They just teach us fucking useless shit.
Yeah. Did you see?
They definitely don't teach us how to take standardized tests. You have to do it on your own. That's why like people have like SAT classes, SAT tutors.
Right.
All that shit.
Did you see the thing I posted on the podcast story the other day that I didn't see where? It didn't say where, like what state or anywhere, but it said that there is a public school system that is removing analog clocks from all of the classrooms because kids don't know how to read them.
Well, that's where we're at now.
What the fuck?
If there's something that's like too hard or too difficult or it seems mean, they just get rid of it now instead of
because everyone's fucking soft.
It's just like, dude, just teach the kids how to read a fucking clock. Like, when did we learn that? Kindergarten?
Yeah, like kindergarten, first grade, the old like yellow clock with the blue face and the red hands on it or green hands, whatever the fuck they were. Like, it's how everyone learned how to tell time. Like you do, like, I remember having worksheets on it. Like, you learn how to tell time on a fucking analog clock. They're like, yeah, well, kids don't know how to tell time, so we're just going to get rid of them. No, hey, dumbass, how about you just teach them how to fucking read it?
Yeah, just teach them how to read the fucking clock.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, tying your shoes is too difficult, so we're only going to use slip-ons and Velcro now.
Yeah, we have to cancel fucking shoelaces.
Yeah.
Because we can't expect kids to learn how to tie their shoes, you know? So
that's just so bad. Like, dude, like, did you watch the Norm Macdonald thing where he crushes the teachers?
No, I haven't, because I opened it and it was 12 minutes and I was like, I don't have 12 minutes right now.
You only have to listen to like the first fucking 4, but
okay.
So, and we've been known to crush teachers on here.
Yes.
And it's not because their job isn't important. The education system is fucked. So whether they're allowed to do their job the way they're supposed to or not, I believe is a system issue. My issue with teachers is they think that everything they do is so fucking important and they're the only ones doing it.
Right.
So, like, remember the unpaid overtime thing? Like, you're the only profession that has to do unpaid overtime.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
like,
you're right.
Well, to decorate my room, I have to use my own money. And it's like, then don't go crazy decorating your room. Like,
right.
Put up what you need to put up.
Right.
It costs a couple bucks, okay. But or don't. Just make it look like a fucking prison cell if you want to.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
So he was just crushing teachers because it was a heckler. So I think he was gonna crush teachers anyway, but he probably would have just let it go. but he was
Yeah.
but someone was heckling him because he was like, one of his things was, he goes, oh, teachers not heroes. He goes, they are not heroes. And he's like, there's a couple funny things about teachers. He's like, first they have the same vacation as a child, and then this is where the heckler came in. It's like, oh, well, how much vacation do you have? He goes, 4 weeks. I work 48 weeks a year. 4 weeks. And then she's like going on. And then he even says too, he's like, wait a minute, you're not one of them fucking teachers, are you? And then there was some point too, he's like, wait, do you think you're a hero? And I think she said, yeah, I couldn't really hear.
Yeah.
And he goes, that might be the problem right there. The heroes aren't the ones who think they're the heroes. It's not like a firefighter walks out of a burning building and someone goes, you're a hero. He goes, no, it's the teachers. So it's like, again, teachers' jobs should be very important. I think the system's fucked, which doesn't allow them to be. Individuals suck, but that happens in any job. Some doctors suck. Some fucking cops suck. Like, well, actually, all cops are bad. All politicians are cunts. All cops are bad. Whatever.
Yep. Yeah, because we only speak in absolutes.
Absolutes. We're all Siths now.
Yeah. Sith Lord Pirelli.
But that's my only, like, that's my big hang up with teachers is like, nothing can ever be good enough. Like, why can't you just be the best fucking teacher?
Right. Like why do you also have to be like, oh, I'm a hero? Well, you're not.
You're not.
Your job. It doesn't mean, and it also doesn't mean your job's not important.
No.
Like, I think teachers are arguably one of the most important jobs in the country. Certainly top 10, if not top 5.
No, it should be.
But that doesn't mean you're a hero. And that doesn't mean like you're so fucking special.
And it's like communism, because on paper, they should have the most important job. They're the one teaching us.
Right. Like the entire next generation like relies on teachers to like learn shit.
So when you say kids don't know how to read analog clocks, it's either the teachers or the educational system.
Right.
Now, listen, I am willing to bet that this is at least a 75% education system issue.
Yes.
I don't think teachers are really allowed to do what they want.
Yeah.
So like if they see an issue with the curriculum or whatever, and they go, I gotta fix this.
Yeah.
Like gym class, I'm the PE teacher. We're not gonna play any more games, no more basketball, we're not gonna play games. I want to do fitness, I want to do strength training, whatever. It'll get shot down because it's not part of the curriculum, and then they would have to approve it. And
right.
It's like, oh well, we have to have a fitness class for that. It's like,
which is why, in a way, and it's the argument for private schools, but then like, who the fuck has the money to pay for a private school?
But even private schools have boards, and it's the same bullshit. It's just it's just not run by the town.
Right.
Or the school committee. Like, it's the same bullshit. Like Roxbury Latin tells students they have to take Latin. Why? Because it's in your name?
Yeah.
It's
cool,
2021. Man. You don't need these kids taking Latin.
No.
It's a waste of fucking time.
Yeah.
I would actually argue that all foreign languages are a waste of fucking time. They should be electives, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
Because I don't even know how many years of Italian I took. I don't fucking remember it. I've never had to use it. Not once in my life. And then if you are someone who works in a realm that requires Spanish, well, then you take Spanish.
Right.
Like if you're going to be a social worker in Massachusetts, you should probably know some Spanish.
Right.
Like
you should probably have like at least like a baseline grasp of like, the big words.
Like if you're going to work for the state in like the EBT office, then you should probably know some Spanish unless you hire Spanish speakers. Like it's one or the other. Like I really don't give a fuck.
Right.
But like, well, you can take Spanish, Italian, or French. Why? It's a waste of fucking time.
Yeah.
What does taking French do for an American?
Nothing.
Not one fucking thing.
And then you have to take it fucking forever. Like you start
You gotta
taking
take
it.
what, 3 years of it?
Well, you take it in middle school, and then you have to take 3 years. So you end up with 6 years of a language because you have 3 years in middle
Yeah.
school from sixth to
I
eighth. And then actually, maybe you only need 2. I think I only took 2 years of
No,
Spanish
because I remember. So in,
in
in
high school.
Medford, in Medford, you took whatever language one, like so Italian one, you took in the 8th grade. So you only had to get to Italian 3.
Yeah, you had to clear level 3. And
So
my
which,
freshman year, I started in Spanish 2.
yes,
So
so did I
my
with Italian,
sophomore year, I took Spanish 3, and
and then
then
I stopped.
my junior year, I stopped taking Spanish.
But man, that's awesome. We got on that from the analog clocks and
Yeah,
kids being fat.
yeah.
Our
Well,
school,
it's dumb. It
our
is
school,
fucking stupid.
they are so fucked.
Yeah. The only school I bet that is actually legit is Tim Kennedy's school down in Texas. But God knows how much money that is.
That's so. The other thing there though, that's also Texas. Like,
Yeah.
with the good comes the bad.
Yeah. Well, it's brand new. He just opened the school like this school year is the first one. He opened his own private school. I wonder if I can Google it and like find like the curriculum. Like I wonder if he allows like fucking like jujitsu as like an elective.
Dude, at the service academies, and obviously you'll say no shit, but I could make the argument that everyone should have the option. They take combatives.
Yeah.
So like I was listening to a guy talk about Air Force. He went to the Air Force, played golf at Air Force. And you have to take boxing 1 and 2 the first 2 semesters.
Yeah.
So on the golf team, all of your disputes were solved with boxing because everyone knows how to do it.
Right.
So if you don't like someone, you box them. And that's how they handle all disagreements on the Air Force. Like I know Army does that. And then, so they take boxing, and then by their junior year, they're taking combatives. So I think they're learning almost MMA fighting.
Yeah.
But why would it be a bad thing to have like self-defense? Like,
Yeah. I think it's important. I think it's important a lot for humility. So like I haven't done any martial arts since I was a child, but I know a lot of people that do, and I hear a lot of people talk about it, and I can attest, at least in by proxy, that learning martial arts, it has a lot to do with like humility. Like people talk about a lot with jujitsu, right? This is the big one because jujitsu's hot right now and everyone wants to do it or does it or whatever. And they talk about all the time, it's humbling because it's all technique. And you can have a guy that's 6'1", 250 go against a guy that's like 5'7", like 160. And the 5'7" guy wins because he can out technique the bigger guy and he can choke him out. And they're like, there's these big dudes that talk about like there's something humbling about the fact that like I'm way bigger than this guy, but he can fucking choke me out. Like jujitsu and martial arts in general is good for that, especially in a world of today when people are so fucking high and mighty on themselves, thinking like teachers are heroes. You know what I mean? Like people that have this false sense of self, like, oh, I have the most important job in the world. You don't. So
does anyone else think that? Because if no one else thinks that, then you're probably wrong.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing ever. Like occasionally this conversation will come up with people at work, and it's my favorite thing to do is bring up the fact that everybody's replaceable. And I always point to the fact that like we had the CEO of our company, or the former CEO of our company, was the CEO for like 45 years or something like that. And when he retired a few years ago, everyone was flipping out. So they were like, oh my God, this guy's been the CEO since like almost the beginning of Compass, like all this shit, whatever. Like, what are we going to do? and then he retired, and the next CEO took over, and she has done nothing but kick ass since then. And the company is in a way better spot than it was 5 years ago, like way better. So I always look at that being like, even the CEO of the company was replaceable. The guy that was here for 45 years, because nobody, like anytime, and this goes across the board, whether it's business, sports, it especially is a big one. Like anytime someone thinks that they are bigger than the whole, you're a fucking dickhead. You know what I mean? Like the one person that thinks they're more important than the thing itself. Like that's why a lot of people don't like LeBron James, is because he walks around like, well, I am this team, or like I'm the most important thing. And it's like, well, you're really good, but like you're a fucking douchebag. Like anyone that walks around at their job being like, if I left my job, Stop and Shop would crumble. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah. If I quit, Market Basket would tank. Well, no, you're like a store manager and you'll just be replaced, and like it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, but like if I quit, fucking Medford Public Schools would go under. Nope, they would just hire someone to replace you, and they would keep chugging along. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing.
No, this nobody. The only time that you have people that truly aren't replaceable are very, very specific cases. And if it isn't someone who works like for themselves or independently, it's like, okay, well, maybe you have someone really, really talented at what they do. But again, it's like, it's going to be fine.
Steve Jobs is replaceable.
Yep.
The fucking guy that everyone shits their pants over. Oh my God, Steve Jobs, Steve Jobs, Steve Jobs. Yeah. How's Tim Cook doing? How's Apple? Their stock is at an all-time high. Like Steve Jobs has been dead for how many years now? And Tim Cook has been the CEO for like a decade at this point. Apple is crushing.
Got fired from Apple.
Yeah.
And then brought him back. Like,
yeah, like these, like,
well, because that's the other, like, so Steve Jobs went out on his own because he left Apple, got fired, whatever happened, went out, tried to basically do Apple, but with another company, and it didn't fucking work.
Right.
So it wasn't just him.
Yeah.
Sure, he helped. Sure, he was extremely talented at what he did. But everyone's replaceable.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like, to tie back to the beginning here, that's martial arts. Like, I think martial arts will help in that. We're really good at tangenting today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, going back to where we started, like what, fat kids?
Yeah, yeah. And that's why 22% of the fucking kids are fat.
Because teachers are not heroes.
Yeah. So that's that. Speaking of, well, I kind of wanted to save this for my final thought. Do you have anything? Do you have anything you want to go with?
Nothing really. I was gonna say I got a final thought, but
okay. Oh, I know. I played today with Bill and Vinny. We played at
Merrimack.
At Merrimack Valley.
Where is that? Methuen?
Methuen, yeah.
I would like to confirm I would not have made it today.
Yeah.
I was so fucking hungover today.
Like, not making a 10-14 tea time.
Bad. Like bad.
We got lucky because it was pretty slow. But as it was, I was getting a little nervous because like Bill got there at like 10:10. I was like, I don't know where he is. And he called me and was like, hey, I just pulled in. And I was like, all right, dude, like we got like 4 minutes, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but it was slow. Like we were pretty backed up. We didn't end up teeing off until after 10:30. I think it was probably like 10:32 when we teed off finally. So it wasn't a big deal, but it could have been.
Bad shape this morning.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. I played really fucking well today. I shot an 88
There you go. You've
with
broken 80 before, right?
4 pars. It's a par 70.
But you've broken 80 before, right?
Broken 80? No.
I broken 90.
90?
Sorry.
Yeah. I've broken 90 before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's an 18 over. So it's pretty solid. We played Bingo Bango Bongo. I won that by a couple points.
I figure if you're gonna shoot that well.
Yeah. I played really fucking well today. My irons were on point. The driver was a little bit better. I think I only hit, I don't know, the scorecard's over there on that thing. I think I only hit like 3 fairways all day, but I hit 7 greens.
Yeah, you don't. So obviously, classic Donald Ross. You don't really have to hit fairways at Donald Ross courses.
Right. Yeah.
And then the public ones, they really aren't like tricked out, like some of the privates.
Yeah.
So they're not as diabolical at the green, but that's where his courses get hard. His courses get hard at the green.
Yeah, it's the elevation change.
Yeah, it's elevation changes, slopes, usually fast greens. But that's what I mean is like public courses, they're not there to fucking crush you.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be playable.
It was pretty fun. I really enjoy that course. That is one of my favorite courses to play. I'd probably put it in my top 5, like at least in Massachusetts. I mean, like if we're not going to count like the other, well, like wherever else the fuck we've played. But it's a beautiful course. It's in pretty good shape. I like the layout of it. Some pretty cool holes, like the first and the 10th tee. Like you tee off and it's a mass. You're essentially on a fucking cliff. It's pretty cool. There's a par 3 that's like what was it, like somewhere between 150 and 170. But it's kind of blind and you have to hit over marsh. So it's like a big marsh field and like you can just see like the tip of the flag. So you got to get it there. Couple holes are pretty cool, like the shape of them. I don't know. I really enjoy playing there. I have a good time every time I go there. It's a really nice course. And I played really fucking well.
Well, that seems to help.
Yeah. I said my irons were fucking nails. Putting still a little iffy. The new putting stroke. I think I had 6 3-putts. But I also had a lot of long putts. Like of those 6 3-putts, probably 5 of them started from over 20 feet away.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna hit more greens, you're gonna have more 3-putts.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I did hit more greens, but I wasn't like close to the pin on the greens. I had one hole out though from off the green on a par 3. It was like on the fringe.
Yeah.
I forget. I think I hit my tee shot in the bunker, hit out of the bunker onto the fringe, and then I hit a putt and it went right in from the fringe. So I was like, oh, sick. That's a good way to make a par. Just like I drew it up.
Straightforward par.
Yeah. Nice and easy. So one of these days we'll figure it out. Are you working Columbus Day?
Going to not Maine.
Oh, that's right. You're in Vermont. You're in Vermont that weekend. Yeah. I don't know. Well, we got to figure out a day because that's even Bill said it too. He's like, oh, you think we'll be able to do this at least once more before the weather fucks us? And I'm like, oh yeah, dude, absolutely. It's just trying to find people's schedules.
Yeah, and it's like, again, I still have shit going on until October 23rd.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm working that Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, this is a fucking joke.
Like, the more and more I think about it, the more I think it'll probably have to be like a Sunday morning anyway. I mean, 10:14 is a little bit later than I would normally like to start. but
Well, that's why
it's the
if you're
earliest
gonna,
I could find. And
yeah,
also, in like for my, like selfishly, like to get to Methuen, like I don't want to have to get up on a Sunday at a time that I would need to be at Methuen by like 8:30, because that means I would have to leave the house by 7. So that's like a 6:15 wake up on a Sunday if I don't have to. Like I'd like to not have to do that.
you would think.
Yeah. But like if we played somewhere like, I don't know, somewhere whatever's around like Dedham or like
George
even,
Wright.
yeah, like wherever, like then I would do that at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, because it's not that bad to get to. It's only like half hour, 40 minutes. Is Weathervane 18 or 9?
Weathervane's 9.
It's 9. Yeah.
Braintree's 18, but I think they have member play in the morning.
Oh, okay. I was thinking I heard a commercial for Weathervane. I think it was Hardy. What'd you say?
I did too.
Yeah, I think they do it on the Sports Hub. I think it's Hardy that does the commercial for Weathervane. And I was like, oh shit, dude, I haven't played Weathervane in like 2 years. I used to play there all the time, like when I was on the road. Like if I had a visit, like in like wherever, like Situate or like Weymouth or something, I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna play Weathervane at like 10 o'clock. And then as soon as I'm done, that'll give me enough time to change, eat, and then get over to this kid being out of school at like 2:30.
Last time I played Weathervane, I think it was like the first and only, was when Chris Healy hit at that group.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The 9th green.
yeah. That is a nice course. That is one, I believe it's one of 2, unless I'm forgetting. Definitely not more than 3 eagle putts that I've ever had. Never made one. But
Dude, I've never made an eagle either.
I think I've had, unless I've had one this year that I don't really remember. Because I know I had one at Weathervane and one at Maplegate.
In the scramble, so I know it's a scramble.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't. I knew that.
It was your 2 shots that got you.
Yeah.
On and 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know there was that, but I wasn't counting that. I guess I could. So I've had 3 eagle putts in my life. 0 for 3.
Yeah, I still don't have an eagle.
Yeah.
But it's probably because I play from a length. Well, actually, I know exactly why. Because I've been members at Harmon and Sharon, both of which only have 1 par 5.
Right.
Both of which are not easy. They're not short. Or actually, Harmon's short, but there's nowhere to hit the ball. It's a bad fucking hole.
Yeah.
So it's like the likelihood that I actually keep it. So I have to hit driver, and the likelihood that I actually keep it in play is very low. And then I have to not only get the ball to the green, I also have to hit the putt.
Yeah.
And Sharon, I can't reach from one set of tees, and then the front tees just require me to be in play, which isn't always guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't bad the other day when we played from the ladies' tees.
Fucking 2 gloves.
That was funny when he was like, "Oh, dude, you played from the ladies' tees." I wanted to turn around and be like, "Yeah, because I fucking suck."
Well, it's like
I'm a 22 handicap. Like,
well, so this is the thing is like the guys at Sharon are fucking retarded, because like our regular tees are the men's tees, but it's 6,500 yards. Most guys shouldn't be playing from 6,500
that's long.
yards.
Not to mention, like, not only is it long, but Sharon it's just like a hard fucking course, like as it is. And then you add the length to it, and it's like, Jesus fuck.
Like a lot of these guys should not be playing 6,500.
Yeah.
Like by no circumstances. But it's like the old guys go, oh, well, I'm not old enough to play up yet. It's like, what do you mean you're not old enough to play up? There's no age requirement.
Yeah.
But, and then the scorecard says women's tees. And it's like, dude, the women should not be playing from almost 6,000 yards, 5,900. Like women's tees are usually like 5,000 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 5,000, 55, like in between that.
Right.
It's like, why the fuck are our women playing from 6,000 yards? So it's like, I wish they would have, like, because the USGA has to come back out and like re-rate the course because we moved the tee box.
Yeah.
So the first tee isn't the way it used to be.
Right.
I wish they would come out, and I wish we could come up with like some more tee box options. Like, so instead of it being like white, blue is men and yellow, red is women, it's like, well, what if you did like blue, red or blue, yellow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so that you have like 6,500 is the tips. Or actually, you could even move everything back, but then it's the same course back and front. Whatever, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They should do something that's like 6,500, then something that's like 62, then like 57, and then like 55 or something. Like they should do something, like it should be like that, where you have like tips, regular, a forward, and then like a very forward.
Yeah. So we actually played the Blues today at Merrimack because it was 5,600 from the Blues.
Where you should be playing.
And because their whites was like 51. And I was like, that's like really short. And then they have golds. Like the golds were, I think that was probably like 6,000.
They use that course they've used it for qualifiers. So there has to be some length to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 gloves are fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
What, play the ladies' tees? Yeah, you know what? You're right. 2 gloves. You got it all figured out. Fucking sandbagging son of a bitch.
All right. Well, it's about that time. You want to start wrapping this bitch up?
Yep.
All right. What do you got?
U.S. Ryder Cup win.
Yeah.
19-9. The most points any team has scored. 19. 14.5 wins the cup. They made 19 points.
Yep. Also, I mean, not to really like shit on them, but they did win it in like kind of a loser fashion. Like Colin Morikawa had a putt to win and he missed the putt. So they halved and they got a half a point, which won it. You know what I mean? Like they won it on a missed putt type of deal, but like whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, you're talking about the clinching point though.
Yes. Yeah.
But they fucking throttled them.
Yes.
Absolutely fucking throttled them. So there are a couple things that now will be coming, things that I love about this. European fans. So the European fans are now going to do their thing where they say that the Americans have no class because they're loud, they're rude, they're obnoxious, they don't know how to win. Yet when you go to Europe and they kick our asses like they always do, it's the same fucking thing.
Yep.
And then you want to think about other sports, soccer hooligans, really? Like, yeah, you know what? You guys are all full of class, every single one of you, just because you fucking speak with an accent.
Exactly.
Yep, you're right. It's just us that are rude, obnoxious, whatever.
Yeah.
And again, you guys are pissed because in 1999 we beat you because Ollie couldn't make a fucking putt, and you try to say, "Oh, everyone ran in his line." It's like, dude, he missed the putt.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Ollie missed the putt. Fact.
Right. Yeah.
So fuck you. Then we have the overreactions. Because they absolutely throttled this team, now we have to hear about just about how good everyone is.
Yeah.
Yet we're probably going to go to the next tour event that they all play in. It'll just be more of the same.
Yep.
But it is nice for once that the U.S. was better on paper. I thought Europe was going to win because I figured they wouldn't show up. They wouldn't play to their abilities. Europe would. And I just thought it was going to be a shit show.
Well, the European guys, the team, like, so there's two things like on paper, because on paper, yes, the US team was more talented, but also on paper, the European team has a much better track record in match play. and just like at the Ryder Cup in general. Like Ian Poulter is fucking unreal. Sergio Garcia is unreal. Like anytime it comes to the Ryder Cup, like these guys are just fucking good.
Right. I think the big thing that came into play this time was we talk about Serge, you know, you talk about Poulter, even Westwood. It's like, oh, experience, experience, experience. It's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And we don't know what these guys are going to bring because a lot of them haven't been here before.
That was the other thing. The US team was full of rookies and young kids.
Yeah, I think the average age was like 25, and then the average age for Europe was like 35 or something.
Dustin Johnson was the oldest guy on the team.
37.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like usually there's guys that are like threatening the Champions Tour.
Yeah.
Like you'd have Phil. Phil was like fucking 48 in the last one.
Yep.
Like the years where like Stricker would hang on and like Furyk. It's like it was nice to just see some young players go out there and actually fucking win.
Right.
And if they're gonna go out and play like that, good fucking luck, Europe. I don't know where the fuck you're fucking matching that firepower.
Yeah, exactly. That
Never
was
mind
wild.
Matt Wolff ever figures his shit out. Like,
yeah,
Matt Wolff wasn't even good enough to be like in the conversation.
I know.
And Scheffler's barely done anything on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, and he played unreal.
But he's good.
He played unreal this weekend.
So it was nice that they actually just showed up, took care of business, and did what they were supposed to for once.
Yeah.
Now, couple things. Bryson, he was good this week.
Yeah.
He should just play the guy that hits driver where he's not supposed to, takes these aggressive lines. He should just be that guy.
Yeah.
Enough with the fucking, oh, well, par here for me is 67. And just
yep.
be the meathead. Just be the meathead. People sit there and cheer when he pulls driver.
Yeah. Well, he had a blast this weekend.
He put the driver back in the bag, and the crowd was giving him shit.
Yeah,
he goes, relax, everyone. I'm still going for the green. Calm down.
I just don't need driver.
Yeah, so we hit a 3-wood pin high. Like,
yeah,
he should just do that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that we saw in practice. So he always does it in the practice rounds, but then when it comes to the tournament weekend, he doesn't do it. Remember, he was doing it at the Masters on the on 13. He was blasting driver into the 14th fairway and playing it from over there. And like, there's been a couple other courses where like in the practice rounds, he like just blasts his driver to like the most ridiculous spot and then plays from like somewhere else, some other fairway, or he plays it differently. And then when it comes to Thursday through Sunday, he pulls 3-wood out of the bag, or he pulls like a 4-iron. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing, dude? Just hit your fucking driver.
I think a lot of the crazy line, because remember at Bay Hill, he had that shot over the water.
Yeah.
You need the wind behind you.
Right. And the same thing with Whistling Straits on, was that Friday when he hit the 417-yard drive? He had like 15-mile-an-hour winds at his back.
It was 74 yards into a par 5.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit wind dependent, but he should just be that guy. Just be the meat and just go with it. And then there won't be any issues with him. Because people loved him at Bay Hill when he pulled driver to hit it over the fucking water.
Yeah.
It's the same thing this weekend. So he should he should really learn from this and just, again, be Captain Meathead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our guy, Bruce.
Yeah.
I like Bruce Koepka. He's starting to get fucking annoying. He really is starting to get fucking annoying. He's trying too hard to be like the cool guy.
Yeah.
And like, I don't care guy. It's like, dude, like when you said like, hey, golf isn't that hard. Like, okay, yeah, cool. That's just like quick. But then it's like, you go on this big long thing about how you don't get to take naps at the Ryder Cup. You have to be there for the events. Like, dude, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or win more. And then then you can say whatever you want. Because
I don't think he's a Ryder Cup guy. Like, his record's not that great.
Yeah, I don't even know how many teams he's been on, and I mean, they all did okay this year, but regardless, he needs to either play better or just shut up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I'm good with like him and the Bryson thing. That needs to stop too, because they don't fucking hate each other.
No, there was a big thing. I got like a CBS alert that like popped up as a headline, like, oh, Brooks and Bryson share a hug after like winning. And it's like
a couple of times.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sure they're fine.
Like, oh, look. It's like, oh, we went to Stricker and said we'd play together. And Stricker said, he goes, yeah, the guy said that they would play together if they wanted to. It's like, enough of this. The rivalry thing doesn't work. They're doing it for, the social media and like the following. You know what I mean? Like they're doing it for show. The rivalry thing works is you two need to get to the top and compete against each other. That's how the rivalry thing works. The rivalry thing works like Tiger and VJ or Tiger and Phil. Like that's how you build a rivalry. Like you need to go win some tournaments. Like both of you need to win 3 in a year and compete against each other. Yeah. And like, if you win 3 a year, one's got to be over the other guy. Right. That's how you do a rivalry. Right. So not like, oh, this guy annoys me. And then of course, Dustin Johnson, oldest guy there, probably had like the worst form coming in. Goes 5-0. Yep. He plays all the events. Yeah. Goes 5-0. Yeah. And I think Morikawa went 4-0. But yeah, the two of them were wild. I watched their match yesterday when they were paired, and I was like, holy shit, they are so fucking like the two of them together was like a cheat code. When one was draining putts, the other one was like hitting crazy iron shots. Like it was wild. Well, here's the thing with that course too, because of the wind, I assume they can't have the greens super, super fast. Yeah. And wouldn't you know it, Colin Morikawa did just fine out there. Yep. Yeah. Weird. Yeah. Weird. So Shane Lowry played really well too yesterday. I watched a lot of it yesterday. Obviously, didn't get too much today because I was on the course, but I watched most of it. I mostly watched football today. Yeah. Yeah, we had the game on my phone in the golf cart. So we were watching the game too. But they did have it on the TV in the bar because after we finished, me and Vinny went into the bar and watched like the end of the Pats game, and they had the Ryder Cup on one of the TVs. So in the clubhouse. And then there was one guy that was like, had to make sure he sat at the bar where his back was to the TV of the Ryder Cup. He was like, you can't talk about it. I'm recording it at home. And everyone at the bar is like, dude, you're at a golf course, sitting at a golf bar while the Ryder Cup is on. And you think that like no one's going to talk about it? Yeah. That's where you need to remove yourself from that situation. Yeah, exactly. Dumb fuck. Yeah, I'm going to watch it when I get home. Don't talk about it. Fuck you, buddy. Go home now, you fucking loser. Yeah, then go home now. Why are you sitting at the bar? Yeah. So anyway, my final thought is Amazon is now lobbying, like actively lobbying, like paying whatever people, lobbyists, I guess, to go to DC and like lobby Congress people to legalize weed, cannabis. So I think we're finally here. I think this is it. I think there was hints that Trump was going to do it if he got reelected, that he was going to legalize it during his second term. But I mean, dude, this is Amazon. Like Amazon is like quite literally like one of, if not the largest fucking company in the world. If they're certainly, I think, the largest company in the United States. It's probably either them or Walmart. But if they're going to start lobbying to legalize weed, I would assume that it's probably going to get done in the next couple of years. Yeah, because isn't lobbying just a way to fucking pay off politicians? Yeah, essentially. You pay lobbyists to go in and like bitch and complain to fucking Congress, like the people at Congress, until they vote some way. You know what I mean? Like, I imagine it's just like
some dickhead just sits at your fucking door every day when you get to work being like, hey, you're going to legalize weed, right? Hey, you're going to legalize weed, right? But there's like 12 of them and they're all yelling whatever the fuck they have to lobby for. I mean, I'm sure there's some sketchy back alley deals that go on too, but I like to.
I just assume it's all $100 handshakes and
envelopes
of money and hey, donate to my foundation.
Yeah,
well, I figured.
So of course, Amazon is trying to put a political spin on it because they're saying, so the company said in a recent letter, criminal marijuana provisions have been unequally enforced upon people of color, limiting their access to jobs. Now, I don't know if that is totally true. Like if marijuana related crimes have been unequally enforced on people of color, but like certainly they make up more of the people that are in jail with weed charges. I don't know. Do with that what you will. Maybe I'm just like talking about semantics here, but the fact of the matter is that there are more black and brown people in jail for weed charges than white people. What that means, I don't know, but the fact is that it's true. But obviously they're like, well, we have to save the black and brown people, so we have to legalize weed.
They just want to make money.
No, you guys just want to make money.
Which is fine. Please do.
Right. Which again, I am all for. Like, you guys are a massive corporation. If you want to make more revenue streams, yeah, you're entitled to that. But like, don't come at me and pretend that you're doing it for like good. You know what I mean? Like, you're not out here being like, well, we're just here to get these people out of jail. No, you're not. You're there to make more money.
Which is fine. Please do. But
yeah.
Just shut up about the other stuff.
Yeah. So they also announced that they're going to stop drug tests for their employees. And also they will restore job eligibility for workers fired or deferred for marijuana use. So anyone that tested positive and got fired in the past, they are going to allow them to come back.
I mean, the thing, like, I just don't understand why people care about weed.
Yeah, I don't either, to be honest.
Because there is data that it fucks up kids, right? Like kids development.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, most things will fuck up kids' developments because they're not developed yet.
And it's,
you know what I mean? Like anything that affects like your chemistry, whether it's be it like brain, blood, fucking hormone, whatever, like that's gonna fuck you up if you're like 13 and you're like drinking alcohol and smoking weed.
Yeah, and it's like super bad for pregnant women to smoke weed, right?
Yeah, most things are bad for pregnant women too.
I know. So I just like when people do like the weed thing, I just don't really see how it's different than alcohol.
No, it's actually safer than alcohol.
Yeah, and it's like the things that people will argue against, people do the same shit with alcohol. Like,
yeah,
like, oh well, it impairs your ability to drive.
So does booze. Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to drink and drive. You're not supposed to smoke and drive. It's the
right.
same thing.
Right. You can't
21 plus.
You can't overdose on weed. Like, what is it?
Not
realistically. So like statistically it is possible, but the amount you need to consume is something like 10,000 times the amount that it takes you to get high. So like if you drank an entire fucking 16-ounce bottle of like concentrate, and maybe you would overdose. Like, I don't even know if that's enough, but like, it is very impractical. You know what I mean? Like it's really fucking hard to overdose on weed. It's not that hard to overdose on alcohol. And if you're addicted to alcohol and you stop taking it, It can
It will kill
literally kill you. It is one of two things that if you're addicted and stop taking it cold turkey, there's a chance you will die. Alcohol and benzodiazepines. Those you cannot stop cold turkey because there's a chance they'll kill you.
Yep.
Yeah. But weed's bad.
Yeah, they should just fucking legalize it, tax the fuck out of it. And let's just fucking move on.
Yeah. And especially because most states, I think there's 20 something states. So it's like roughly half of the states in the country have legal weed at this point. So I think 20, 30 years from now, most of it will all be legal. I think psilocybin will become legal too at some point. Or at least it will become unscheduled or declassified, whatever the fuck it is.
Criminalized.
Well, no, it's like the next step. So like something could be decriminalized, but it's still considered a Schedule 1 drug. I think they'll both be removed from Schedule 1 in like 20 years. Weed a lot sooner, but I think psilocybin definitely in the next 20, 30 years will be like descheduled. There's a bunch of stuff coming out now, and there will be in the next couple of years too, that shows psilocybin plus therapy is way more effective at treating PTSD than antidepressants and benzodiazepine.
Yeah, and that's in that's why like the microdosing stuff's becoming all the more popular too.
Yeah. So it's going to hit, it's going to get worse before it gets better, right? Like it's going to get to the point where people really start to realize it. And then big pharma will do everything in their power to block it. So it will like, there'll be this like, this trajectory upward where like Colorado, Oregon, and I think one other state have decriminalized it already. And then once more evidence comes out that it's really good, like I said, big pharma will squash it, but then they're only squashing it so that they can buy more time to figure out how to make money off of it. And then once big pharma can realize how they can put psilocybin in a fucking pill, then they'll be like, they'll do a quick 180 and start lobbying to get it legalized, and then it will become legal, and then fucking, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, fucking GlaxoSmithKline, all of those pharmaceutical companies will then proceed to make millions, if not billions of dollars off of psilocybin. So you heard it here first. That's how it's going to go.
Why don't we just skip a step, have them fucking develop the pill and just go whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, they need time to put it through trials. That's why. You know what I mean? And if it becomes decriminalized,
everyone cures COVID and they get emergency access.
Yeah. Well, if it becomes decriminalized and descheduled before big pharma can capitalize on it, they lose out, because then it's like, oh, dude, I can just go get fucking mushrooms from like the dealer, the local dealer. I don't need to go. Yeah. Like I don't need to go to fucking Pfizer for my psilocybin. So interesting things to follow along. Well, that is going to do it for us. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe, give us a thumbs up, maybe leave us a comment. All that stuff helps our visibility, helps us pop up when other people are watching YouTube shows. Subscribe wherever you're listening. If you use Apple Podcasts, which I don't know, 78% of you do listening right now. I know, I get the statistics. Go to the iTunes store, leave us 5 stars, write us a review. And again, all that stuff helps new people find the show. Also, you can tell them by word of mouth. We can spread the show. And also by word of mouth, you can use it and also tell people to go to grillyourassoff.com and use our promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off your entire order. GrillYourAssOff.com has the world's best seasonings. It's fuck all the other ones. Fuck Meat Church. What is it? Fuck McCormick, Weber. All the what's the other one? I'm trying to think of. There's another bigger one that's not Meat Church that people like. It's all stupid. Doesn't matter. Grill Your Ass Off is way better. They give you a pound of seasoning. There's like 10 of them right now. They have a bunch of other things like seasoned salts. They have an instant read grill thermometer, or I'm sorry, a meat thermometer. What else? They got t-shirts, hats, fucking mugs, aprons, anything you could imagine. So you go to grillyourassoff.com, use a promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off your entire order, as many times as you want to. Not a one-time use. It's use it forever. So grillyourassoff.com, promo code SarcasmPod. You can get us on Instagram at SarcasmSpeaksPod. Our Twitter is Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. And again, let us know if you want in on the weekly NFL Pick'em Pool. Shoot us a DM on whatever fucking social media you want, and we will get you that info. So until next time, good night.